Yeah. Yes, Alif, Gauri, Chikrika, Khadija, how you guys are doing?
Fine, sir. What about you?
Yeah, I'm also good. Yes, I'm good. Okay, so let's start the class, and today this chapter will be finished, and then we'll be doing some questions. Okay. So previously we did learned about fractional distillation, how fractional distillation is done. In the previous class, we learned about petroleum. We learned about petroleum. What are the properties of petroleum? We learned that it's a dark colored, thick liquid. It has got a very unpleasant smell. It is not soluble in water. It does not mixes with water. And it's a mixture of different type of hydrocarbons, mainly the compounds of hydrogen and carbon. And obviously, it's a natural fuel. It's a fossil fuel. The petroleum is made up of two words, petra and oleum, meaning rocks and oil. That is basically it is trapped between two types of rocks, namely the impervious rock and the reservoir rock like this. So reservoir rock would be holding water, and above water oil will be floating. This petroleum, that is crude oil, will be floating, and above this gas is found. And we also learned that the world's first oil well was drilled in which country? Where
USA.
was USA? In Pennsylvania in USA. Good. So we have got oil rigs. We have got oil rigs. Drilling rigs are there. Using these drilling rigs, oil wells are dug out. They are drilled, and then first natural gas will come out, because obviously this is found above the oil. So this is obvious to come out first. Then, as we learned, why this an example, like as you suck water from tumbler A, the water will start to go from A to B. By the help of this pipe, we can do that. In the similar manner, what happens as the oil well is dug, so natural gas will start to come out from this well with a very huge amount of pressure. And that huge amount of pressure with which this gas comes out, it kind of creates a suction pull. Just like using this pipe, you suck the air from this pipe. As you dip it into this, you will be sucking the air from it. So as the air empties, as the air from the pipe empties, so then water will start to flow. So that is the concept behind the working of oil rigs. All right now. So that is how petroleum is extracted. We learned about the different uses of petroleum, and we learned that in India, where was the oil well dug for the first time? In which state?
Sir,
Hmm. In Assam. Okay. Now, as of now, in which part of India you will find oil wells
Assam.
apart from Assam?
Maharashtra.
Gujarat, Maharashtra. Good. You have one common example of Mumbai High, right now. I'm visible to everyone now, right?
Sir.
Also, we learned that we petroleum in its crude state is not. Also, one more thing. Is it that petroleum reserves will be found only on the land? Meaning, I mean to say that will the oil wells only be dug on the land?
No.
No, it can be dug under the seabed also. Like you have one example of Mumbai High. Then we learned about fractional distillation. The fractional distillation was the process of separating the various components of petroleum from one another. And each component found in it has got different boiling temperature. So let me quickly recap this thing, what basically happened here. If you were to look at an actual video, do one thing after the class, search for petroleum, fractional distillation of petroleum, where you can get the actual video, where you will learn that how exactly it takes place. What happens? First of all, the crude oil is heated at very extreme temperature in a furnace, up to 400 degrees Celsius. What will happen? All of them will start to convert into vapor now. They will start to convert into vapor at different temperature, because their boiling points are different. So you will find that inside these structures that you are seeing over here now, there are plate like structures at various places. Like there would be place like a structure over here also, over here also, and over here also. So as these gases will rise up, so at different temperatures, they will start to condense. Try to understand this thing. At the bottom of this chamber, the temperature is how much? Temperature at the
400
bottom is, yeah, it's very high at the bottom. But as you gradually move up, so in the upward portion of this glass chamber, the temperature starts to reduce. So here the temperature will be 20 degrees Celsius, for example. As you go higher up inside this chamber, the temperature will be lesser. Now we also know that gases will condense, like for example, water condenses. You heat some water, and you place a utensil over it. So you will see that water vapor will start to condense. Water droplets will form. So that is condensation, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what happens over here? For example, as butane and propane rises up due to boiling, as they rises up, so in the higher chambers of this structure, in the higher part of this chamber, the temperature is less, so thereby they will start to condense. Getting this concept? Then as petrol rises up, so higher at this temperature over here, the temperature in the chamber is 150 degrees Celsius. So vapors of petrol will start to condense, and it will now accumulate over this plate-like structure, and it can be taken out via this pipe. And as kerosene boils and it converts into vapor, and as it rises up, so as soon as it rises up here, where the temperature is 200 degrees Celsius, so at this temperature it will start to condense. Condensation, you all understand, right? Conversion from
Yes, sir.
vapor state to liquid state. So that's why this is called as fractional distillation, because distillation in itself means that whenever
So
we
you
talk.
mean, so
Mhm.
you mean gas to liquid?
Yeah, from gas to liquid.
Okay.
Just like let's say you are boiling water. You boil water on a stove, and if you were to place a plate above it, place a plate, so you will find that tiny droplets of water will start to accumulate at its bottom. It's a common thing, we observe it whenever we boil water or something. Getting it now? So that is the concept. Another thing is that distillation, which you guys have learned earlier also, like distillation involves two steps. First step is boiling. Second step is, yes, second step is what? Hello, what is the second step in it? Distillation comprises of two things. One is boiling, another one is what? Come on. It's condensation, no? Guys, it's condensation. Am I not audible to you guys?
Yes, sir.
So why you guys are not replying this? Distillation, you all have studied about this now. It comprises of two steps. First, you boil the liquid, then you condense it by bringing the temperature down, by reducing the temperature. So that thing is happening here also. You have boiled the crude oil and then you condense it. As they rise up, the temperature starts to decrease now. 400, then 370, then 300, like this. So as the temperature decreases, different vapors will start to condense. So that is the concept. Hope you guys understood it. And we also learned that there are different constituents of petroleum. Different components have got different uses. We learned about that. Three of the three of the components obtained from fractional distillation is very important. They are petroleum gas, then you have liquefied petroleum gas, and then you have one more. I believe there was one more. Petroleum gas, liquefied petroleum gas, and petrol. Talking about petroleum gas, that will come out from the topmost hole, topmost chamber. Okay, now from here. Talking about petroleum gas, so petroleum gas, it's a flammable mixture of hydrocarbon gases, meaning that you can light it, it will catch fire. So petroleum gas is a flammable mixture of hydrocarbon gases. Liquefied petroleum gas is used in heating appliances and even in cooking types of equipment. So what happens? This gas, that is coming out from over here, it will be liquefied. It will be liquefied, and then it will be later on, we will be using it as for the purpose of cooking at home, and it will be in certain cases it is used in industries as well. So petroleum gas, which is a flammable mixture of hydrocarbons, it can be converted into liquid state, so thereby it is called as liquefied petroleum gas, and it is used in heating appliances and even in cooking types of equipment. It is also used as a refrigerant, replacing chlorofluorocarbons in an effort to reduce damage to the ozone layer. So earlier, what happened? Earlier you would be aware of this, that earlier in the refrigerators, chlorofluorocarbon gases were used. In short, this is called as CFC small s. But there were so many disadvantages of using this. By the way, this is used as a coolant. Chlorofluorocarbons were used as a coolant to keep the refrigerator cool. Okay, na? So it was used as a coolant, but the disadvantage is that it's one of the greenhouse gases. So it contributes in global warming. It leads to global warming. Apart from carbon dioxide gas, carbon monoxide, and methane, chlorofluorocarbon are also is also one of the example of greenhouse gases. So thereby, nowadays it has been replaced with petroleum gas. So petroleum gas is nowadays used in it. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Furthermore, talking about this liquefied petroleum gas, which is formed from the refining of the petroleum, it is being manufactured obviously from petroleum during its refining. Normally, a question is asked: what is liquefied petroleum gas is made up of, or what is its composition? This question is important. So it is made up of mostly three types of hydrocarbons. They are propane, butane, and pentane. 48%, usually 48% of propane is found in it, 50% butane, and 2% of pentane. Getting it or not? All these are three major hydrocarbons found in liquefied petroleum gas. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sundus has not joined today, no? Nor Vaiga also has not joined today. Okay, then this question that why petrol is called as black gold. You guys answer this to me.
Because
Yeah.
petrol has so much value of money.
Exactly. It has got so many value. See, petrol, first thing is that it is black in color. Not particularly petrol. We are talking about petroleum. So petroleum in its crude state is black in color. Another thing is that it has got so much of economic value. It is so difficult to found. It is so difficult to extract from the earth. It has got such a good value. You can obtain lots of different components from lots of different things are obtained by fractional distillation of petroleum. For example, you have kerosene, petrol, diesel, you have wasteline, you have bitumen. So many substances are obtained from it. So because it is in black in color and of its great economic value. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes.
So can you explain it again?
Yeah, sure. Why petroleum is called as black gold? That is the question. So the reason why petrol is called as black gold, first thing is that petroleum, when it is in its crude state, it is black in color. And people call it as black gold because of its oil and because of its value. It is although less in amount, but its economic value is very much. Even just a few liters of petroleum holds great economic value. Even if you were to have like 2 or 3 liters of petroleum, you can extract so many things from it. So thereby it holds a great economic value. So when it is extracted, when petroleum or crude oil is extracted from the land, it is black in color, and we call it gold because gold is what? Like gold is very it's an expensive thing now. So we kind of compare it with gold because it has also got a very good economic value. You guys getting it or not?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Then we have an interesting question. The question is, why US has millions of leaking oils and natural gas well? If you happen to visit certain parts of United States, you will find that now there will be it will be very stinky. It will give a very stinky smell. What basically happened over the past few hundred years, over the past not few, over the past hundred years, fossil fuel companies and some of the private landowners in United States, they have drilled tens of millions of holes deep inside the earth in order to extract oil and natural gas. So
I
what
can
happens?
hear you.
Yeah. Please repeat.
Yes, sir. Now I can hear you.
Am I audible to you now?
Yes, sir. Right now you're before your words.
Okay. See, basically, what I was explaining moments ago, I said that over the past 100 years, what has happened in United States, there are so many fossil fuel companies, and there are some private landowners also. They have drilled almost tens of millions of holes deep into the earth in order to extract petroleum and natural gas. So what happens when a well dries up? When a well will dry up, their operator will move to another area. Normally what should happen that when a well has dried up, so they should fill it with cement. They should fill it with cement so that there should not be any toxic gases coming out from it. For example, what will happen now? From these abundant oil wells, toxic gases will start to come out, like you have methane. Yes, Santosh, how are you? Toxic gases will start to come out of it. Yeah. Okay. No worries. Continue from here. Okay, now. So the question why the US has millions of leaking oil and natural gas is that for the past 100 years they have been digging so many holes in the ground in order to extract petrol and oil. But once the well will dry up, the operator will move to another area, leaving it abandoned, not filling the holes. So researchers now have estimated that they are, as of today, as of this year, there are between 2 to 3 million abandoned oil and gas wells in United States. Okay, no? And most of them are uncapped. Most of them are uncapped or unproductive. They are orphaned, meaning that they have not been closed properly. So the ones that have not been closed properly, so there's a risk of leakage and could pollute the soil and air and will pose a danger to the people living nearby to those areas. Is that clear to everyone or not?
Clear, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
na?
sir.
Okay. Then talking about natural gas. Talking about natural. By the way, while we talked about liquefied petroleum gases, now there are certain disadvantages of using this. There are certain reasons why it is considered a good fuel. Can you guys tell me why it is considered as a very good fuel?
So it doesn't produce smoke on
Very good.
burning. It doesn't leave any black residue after burning.
Very good. No residues left and
No bad odor.
no bad odor. Very good. No bad odor. And
It
yes,
is easy
No
to
remaining.
transport and supply.
No.
very good.
No remaining.
No residues left. Shikrika said that already. Easy to transport and store. Then the most important thing you guys are forgetting, it has got a very high, it has a good calorific value, no?
Flame.
high
It is
calorific.
easy to
Hmm.
catch fire.
It has got a proper ignition temperature. It has not neither a very low or neither a very high ignition temperature. Okay, now. So proper ignition temperature. You all have learned about ignition temperature. I did taught this in the class.
Yes, sir.
Hope you guys haven't forgot that. Okay, now. So these are the advantages of using liquefied petroleum gas. All right, now let's move on to discuss about natural gases. Talking about natural gas mainly uh, it consists of methane with some small quantities of ethane and propane also. We'll be discussing that in a bit, but first of all, let us understand what is natural gas. Okay, now what is natural gas? The one that you see over here, this is natural gas. Someone lit a matchstick, so thereby it caught fire. See, natural gas, like other fuels like petrol and coal, it is also a fossil fuel, and it is formed due to the decaying, due to the decomposition of plants, animals, and even the microorganisms that lived millions of years ago. That lived millions of years ago. You know, there are some unique microorganisms that are found to be living inside the intestine of humans, called as methanogens, that produces methane gas. Do you guys know that? Hmm? There are some microorganisms called as methanogens that releases methane gas that are found inside the human intestines also. Getting it? See,
So
basically
if we
the yeah,
sir, so if we fire it, it will burn.
obviously it will catch fire. Okay, now if there's a high concentration of methane. Talking about this natural gas, it is found in rock formations that are very deep below the surface of Earth. Sometimes petroleum can also be found in the same area where natural gas is found, as we had looked at these images while we were talking about petrol. See, natural gas is also found there along with oil now. Sometime it can be found, while sometime this whole gap might be the maximum area of this gap might be filled with gases only, or sometime there can be a very less amount of gas filled inside this gap. Okay, no? Well, sometime both of them can be found. And we humans have been using the natural gas for over hundreds of years. For hundreds of years, we have been using it for cooking purposes. Now, natural gas deposits are found often near oil deposits. Where oil deposits are found, there also it can be normally found. Deposits of natural gas close to Earth's surface are usually dwarfed by nearby oil deposits, meaning that usually
So
what
I have a
happens?
doubt.
Yes, Chikrika.
Sir, I thought that the natural gas can be extracted by how the petroleum has been extracted, like the same way,
Yeah. See, the manner how
with
it
the
is
same machine.
extracted, the it is slightly different. It is slightly different. The machine is going to be same, but the pipes are going to be different. Natural gas is extracted in a different manner as compared to petroleum. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
So here you have to ensure that there is no leakage there. The pipes that you would be using, it has to be completely sealed. You have to ensure that there should be no leakage. While in the case of petroleum, when petroleum is brought to the surface, the pipe will be hollow, the pipe will be open there. While here it will be completely sealed. We would be also drilling wells, but in the case of in the case of the gases now, the thickness of the pipes the thickness of pipes that is drilled into the earth, it will be slightly thinner as compared to that of petrol. Okay, now
Yes, sir.
anyways, So deposits of natural gas that is close to Earth's surface are usually dwarfed by nearby oil deposits. And deeper deposits will be formed at higher temperatures and under more pressure. So thereby they have more natural gas than oil. I mean to say here, say that this is Earth crust and say that these are two places, for example, place A and B. So you guys tell me which one will be experiencing more pressure and more heat?
B.
A,
B1.
B, no, obviously, guys. So in B, more amount of gas will be found and a slight amount of oil will be found. While in A, what might happen? A very small amount of gas will be found and more amount of oil might be found. Getting it or not? What I'm trying to say. So as you go deeper into the Earth's crust, so thereby in the reservoir, by the way, these are called as a reservoir. Okay, so in the reservoir, you will have more natural gas than oil. And if you were to have a very deep deposit, in the deepest deposits, they can be made up of only they can be made up of just natural gas. See that this much is the Earth's crust. If there's another one that is C, this might be filled only with natural gas. So hope that's clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No? Also, not getting it. See, basically the thing is now, as you go deeper down into the Earth's crust, pressure due to the layers of Earth, the pressure on the dead and decaying matter will be more, and temperature will be higher because temperature will be coming from within the Earth, from the core of the Earth, isn't it, guys? So as you go deeper,
Is it like from the lava?
yeah,
The
obviously,
molten lava?
yeah. See, obviously from lava, not
Okay.
particularly only lava. Lava is basically what? Like if it gets a pathway to come out from there, mm, when you look at the internal structure of the Earth, so you will find that lava will somewhere it will find some pathway to come out of the core. It will go into the mantle and it eventually comes out of the mantle and goes into the crust and erupts as volcano. So basically the temperature will be coming from within the Earth's surface, particularly from the core and from core and from the mantle also. So as you go deeper, you will be having only pure natural gas. While in the shallow depths, you can have oil along with natural gas. That is the thing about it. Also, I want you guys to understand this basic thing. Say that this is the a mass of dead plants, animals, and microorganisms. Say this is a decomposed matter of it. It is about to decompose. And it is decomposing under anaerobic condition in absence of air. So what will happen? Some gases will also be formed in it. Some gases will also start to come out of it or not. While in the process of decomposition, what will happen? It will release some gases also. So those gases have got no space to escape. Like for example, look at this image. These are the impervious rocks. These are the impervious rocks. If they were to be porous, if they were to be porous rock, so what would happen? That gases can leak through those pores. Gases can come out via those pores. But now since it's an impervious rock, so those gases that will be coming out from the decaying plants, animals, and microorganisms, they will accumulate above the oil because it is one thing is that it is lighter in density. Another thing is that it has got no space to escape into. Hence, it will accumulate over here. Is that clear to everyone or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Another thing is that the first industrial extraction of natural gas was done in the New York state in the year 1825. Then so many other
So,
industrial
sir,
extractions were also done in other parts of the world. Yeah.
Natural gas was found before petroleum.
No, it's not like it is formed before petroleum. It is while both of them will be formed gradually.
No, but then
First,
it's given that petroleum was found in Pennsylvania in 1859.
hmm,
Yes, and here it's given that the first industrial extraction of natural gas was in 1825. So
no. That's not the accurate reasoning to say that it was formed before or after. Uh, if we discovered it later on, it does not mean that it was formed later, or if we discovered it earlier, or it means that it was formed earlier. The thing is that you have a lump of decaying mass. You have decaying plants, animals, and microorganisms. Okay, so while it is decomposing, have you guys ever observed this thing? For example, if there's a dead rat, like if you ever happen to go on a street and you find the body of a dead organism that is decomposing for a 1 or 2 or for a week, it will give a very stinky smell. Yeah, it gives a
Yes,
very
sir.
stinky smell. So that stinky smell is basically the gas that is coming out of it now. Hmm. So the body of that animal is also decomposing, and during that decomposition gases is also coming out of it. So it's a simultaneous process. Both of them will be happening at the same time. Another thing, keep in mind that as I told you about this bacteria methanogens, remember in the beginning I told you about the methanogens.
Yes,
So
sir.
what do the methanogens do? Methanogens are found in the intestines of humans also. It is found in the intestine of cattle also. Okay, now. So these are the microorganisms that produces methane. So these microorganisms will also be helping in a decomposition of the dead plants and animals, even other microorganisms. Because since methanogen is I believe it's a bacteria. Okay, now not particular bacteria, they are archaea actually. Archaea. Let me write it. Archaea. So they also help in the decomposition and they would be releasing gases. So where will those gases go? It will, since it is lighter intensity, so it will escape from it and accumulate above it. Hope Chikrika, you are getting it and others are also getting it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no? Another thing is that natural gas is invisible, has no odor, and is lighter than air. Keep that thing also in mind. Talking about what are the uses of natural gas, so it will be used for a variety of purposes, mainly till 19th and 18th century it was used for street and household lighting. For lighting purposes it was used. Now apart from lighting, it has got other applications also. It is used to turn turbines for wind and solar energy generation. There also it will be having some use. This fossil fuel is used for the production of ammonia, and we know ammonia is used in the production of fertilizers. Getting it now? Ammonia is used there in the production of fertilizer, that is NH3. By the way, ammonia is a basic substance. Keep that thing in mind. Okay, now? Then it is a domestic fuel as well. It fires stoves in our houses and also runs heaters, ovens, boilers, etc. Now you know that it's a cleaner fuel. It's a cleaner alternative as compared to other fuels. And since it's a little bit expensive
Sir,
in some countries, so thereby people normally don't prefer it using. Some people do not prefer it using. Yeah, Aleph.
sir, oven is an electric thing. How can gas can use that?
Repeat again once more. Repeat this question.
Oven is a electric device. How can we use
See,
natural gas?
here oven is being oven term is being used in a general sense. Oven, um, when use this term oven, it not only refers to electric oven. It might refer to non-electric ovens, non-electric cooking devices also. So oven does not particularly refer to a electric device.
Okay, sir.
Right now, like when you say microwave oven, then it's an electric device, right now. So that is the thing. Oven can be basically, it could be any tool that can be used to heat up cooking materials or some other materials also. So you have electric oven, you have oven made of mud also. You guys seen a oven made up of mud?
No, sir.
Okay. Particularly in villages it is used. Further, the natural gas can be compressed natural gas, in short it is called as CNG. So that is gas stored at high pressure. It is used in some households for heating and cooking purposes. Nowadays in certain vehicles also compressed natural gases are used right now. But those vehicles have to be low load vehicles, meaning that those vehicles will not be doing some heavy duty right now. So CNG is also a cheap and environmental friendly alternative for a transportation fuel used in low load vehicles requiring
Sir,
high fuel efficiency. Yeah.
sir, I think it depends on the place, whether it's cheap or not.
Yeah, it depends upon that factor also. Like it has to depend upon that also. Like, but in certain parts of the world, the people will not be able to afford it, while certain parts of the world people will be able to afford it right now. Particularly if you were to happen to go to different countries in South Africa, like there it might not be a cheap alternative. Okay. Then you have liquefied natural gas also. You liquefy it. In short, it is called as LNG. It is used to power vehicles such as off-road trucks, and in certain cases in trains also it can be used. So you have that's natural gas for you. So hope that is clear. If you guys have any questions in it, please to let me know. We are going to learn
Yes.
about one important thing, that what are the advantages of using natural gas or compressed natural gas. Advantages of using natural gas slash compressed natural gas. Okay, let us discuss this together. First thing is that, is it a good fuel or not? You guys tell me. It's a good fuel, no?
So can you repeat the question?
Yes, sir.
Is it a good fuel?
It is, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is a good
Yes, sir.
fuel, so it
Yes,
will
sir.
burn easily. It will burn easily and produce lots of heat. So first thing is that it means that it has got a high calorific value. Another thing is that it will burn with a smokeless flame and hence causes no air pollution. No air pollution, since it burns with a smokeless flame. Yeah.
No remaining.
Nor no remainings. Okay. No residues are left. It does not produces which fuels will be producing ashes, by the way?
Coal.
Coal and charcoal.
Coke.
Coke, a very less amount. Yeah, coke will also release. Wood will also leave some residue right now. That
Sir,
is
what is that?
yeah.
You say something good,
Wood.
like what?
Yeah, wood will
Wood.
also will leave some ashes. Now wood leaves some ashes. Okay, now. Okay, then we say that natural gas is a complete fuel in itself and can be used directly for heating purposes in homes and industry. There is no need to add anything else to it. There's no need to add anything else to it. Okay, no? So third thing is that it's a complete fuel. Then one of the great advantages of using natural gas is that it can be supplied to homes, it can be supplied to factories through a network of underground pipeline. As you can have a look in the first image, you look at this first image. So there could be a network of underground pipelines via which it can be supplied to homes and factories. So thereby it kind of eliminates the need for additional storage and transport. Although we can store it in cylinders also, that's also one of the option, but in some cities, some places, there could be an underground network of pipelines through which natural gas can be directly provided to homes and factories. You'd find in certain colonies, in certain areas now, a natural gas pipeline will be fitted inside the house. You might have seen that. If you happen to visit certain areas in Gujarat, like Vadodara in Gujarat, or in certain parts of Delhi, I have seen it in Delhi. Uh, I have seen it in the universities in Delhi, or in the um, certain cities, in certain parts of Delhi. I have seen it where a supply of natural gas exists. There's a pipeline for the supply of natural gas that can be found there. So, so they can be transported slash we have the example, we have the option of pipelines also. Then talking about use of this CNG, we have discussed that where it can be used in low load vehicles, it can be used there, right? And compressed natural gas is being used increasingly as a fuel in transport vehicles. If you happen to visit Delhi or other cities also in India, they are now autos are running on CNG fuel. There would be written CNG on the auto. CNG would be written on it. So compressed natural gas is being used increasingly as a fuel in transport vehicles also, like cars, even in buses it is used. The reason is that because in order to reduce air pollution, we are using it as a fuel. Okay, now. So hope you guys are getting it. Okay. Now, there's one more important thing about natural gas. You know that natural gas is used as a source of hydrogen gas also, that is needed to manufacture fertilizers. I'm repeating this. Natural gas is used as a source of hydrogen gas that is needed to manufacture fertilizers. To manufacture fertilizer, you need hydrogen gas. Where do you get that nitrogen gas? You can get it from natural gas. Okay, now. So what basically happens when natural gas is heated? When it is heated strongly, when the natural gas is heated strongly, thereby what happens? The methane that is present in it, it decomposes, it breaks to form carbon and hydrogen. Upon heating it strongly, CH4, that is basically methane, it breaks into carbon and hydrogen gas. Now this hydrogen gas, it can be used for the manufacture of fertilizer. Is that clear to everyone or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good. Manufacture of fertilizers. Furthermore, keep one more thing in mind, that natural gas will be used as a material for the manufacture of different type of chemicals also. Okay, na? It will be used for the manufacture of certain kind of petrochemicals also, certain kind of chemicals also. So hope you have understood that. Then question comes that what are petrochemicals? What is this petrochemical? Yeah. So many useful substances are obtained from petroleum and natural gas. There are so many useful substances that you can obtain from these two. So those chemical substances which are obtained from petroleum and natural gas, they are called as petrochemicals. I'm repeating, those chemicals which are obtained from refining of petroleum and natural gas are called as petrochemicals. What are some of the examples of petrochemicals? We have examples of, like you have methyl alcohol is there. Methyl alcohol, let me write petrochemicals. Methyl alcohol is there. Apart from it, you have
Ethyl
example of
alcohol.
ethyl alcohol. Good. Ethyl alcohol is there. You have one such example of formaldehyde also. Formaldehyde. This is another one which is extracted, which is petrochemical. Then you have acetone, you have acetic acid, you have ethylene also.
Benzene.
Benzene, very good. Benzene is also there. Benzene, then you have acetone also. I told you about acetone, benzene. There are a few also left, like toluene is also there. Toluene. That is also there. Then you have vinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride, and obviously hydrogen is also there. So these are the different petrochemicals that are obtained from petroleum and natural gas. Now all these are very important because they are used to manufacture a wide variety of useful materials. Uh, for example, these will be used in manufacture of different type of materials. For example, they are used. I'm writing their uses over here. Okay, they will be used in manufacture of detergents. They can be used in manufacture of synthetic clothes like polyester, nylon, acrylics, polyesters, acrylic, nylon, etc. Apart from this, they would be obviously used in manufacture of fertilizers. Right now, they would be used in manufacture of certain plastics also. Plastics such as polythene or polyvinyl chloride or bakelite. By the way, you guys tell me, you might have studied about different types of plastics. Have you guys studied about it? No?
No, sir.
Are
No,
like biodegradable.
no plastics. No, plastics are usually non-biodegradable. Okay. Although nowadays certain entrepreneurs are making biodegradable plastics also, but that is not that much successful. There are two types of plastics. One kind of plastic will melt upon heating. One kind of plastic will not melt upon heating. There are two types of plastics. They are particularly called as thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. The one will that can be melted, they are called as thermosetting plastics. That can be I mean to say, they are called as thermoplastics. And the one that cannot be melted, they are called as thermosets. For example, if you were to look at the handles of certain kitchen utensils, for example, you will find that it is made up of plastics, but even after heating it, it does not melt. So that is made up of bakelite. That is a thermosetting plastic. You guys getting it now what I'm trying to say? Bakelite or polyvinyl chloride, it is used in making of pipes, PVC pipes. Have you heard of PVC pipes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that is also there. Apart from this, it can be used in the manufacture of certain kind of medicines also. Keep that thing in mind. Drugs, that is basically medicines over here. So there also it will be used. Apart from this, you will be used in manufacture of certain types of
Explosives.
perfumes. Explosives, very good. In manufacturing of explosives also. In manufacturing of insecticides also it will be used. Right now. So these are some of the general uses. There's one more, dyes also, etc. So these are some of the petrochemicals
Sir,
which we have. Yeah.
there is Vaseline, right?
Yeah, Vaseline is also there. Vaseline is also one of the example of petrochemical. You can count that one also. Okay, now
The perfume.
these much are substance. Perfume is made from petrochemicals, yeah. Okay, these are the uses of these falling petrochemicals which we have. Okay, now. So hope you have understood it. So that's why, since petrol, all these are petroleum products, petroleum and natural gas products. So petroleum is not only a source of fuel. Petroleum is not only a source of fuel, but provides lots of raw materials in the form of petrochemicals to manufacture a large number of useful substances. So due to its great commercial importance, we call it as black gold. Okay. There's one more topic we can finish it and we have few minutes left. Then the chapter will be finished. The topic is that energy resources of Earth are limited. Energy resources on Earth are limited, like the amount of coal, of petroleum or natural gas that is present on Earth, it is very limited. That's why they are exhaustible resources. In total, they might last only for about 100 years. If you were to talk about all these reserves together, they might last for another 100 years only. So once the present stock of coal, petroleum, and natural gas present in the earth, it gets exhausted, no new supplies of these fossil fuels will be available to us in the nearby future. Why is that so? The reason is that these fossil fuels are not made in laboratories. It took millions of years to convert the dead organisms into fossil fuels in nature. Right now, also you will find that these fossil fuels um, have got good calorific value. So many, apart from
Sir, I
using
have
it
a
as
doubt.
fuel, just 1 minute. Apart
Yes.
from using it as a fuel, there are so many useful substances like that is manufactured using petroleum and natural gas, even coal. Yeah, Chakrika.
Uh, yes, sir. Sir, I've thought about this. So petroleum can be made, right?
Can
In
we made
laboratories.
petroleum in laboratories?
Yes, sir. Maybe not exactly in laboratories, but
Mhm.
in a place, in factories. We can provide pressure, we can provide heat,
Mhm.
and we can also provide bacteria, and we can
See,
also do it in the absence of air, right?
you have all the factors, but you are lacking the most important factor. That is time. You need millions of years. You can mimic the environment. You can mimic everything. You can have the pressure, heat, and bacterias. But where will you get that time from? You need millions of years. So therefore, petroleum cannot be prepared in the laboratory. Okay, no?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So that is the reason. Then we were talking about limitations of why the energy resources that of Earth are limited. So since also we know that use of fossil fuels is linked to global warming also, no? Because they produce a lot of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide. So the use of lesser fuels will actually be helping in keeping our environment clean and reducing the risk of global warming. Right now, so from this discussion, we can conclude that fossil fuels that we should use fossil fuels only when absolutely necessary. Because if we have to have such an approach, then we will ensure the availability of fossil fuels for a longer period of time. Say that it is going to last for 100 years. So, but if we were to be careful, it might last for 150 years. It might last for 200 years. Right now, further, it will reduce air pollution. Then it will reduce the risk of global warming also. Right now, so that is the thing. Another important thing guys need to know about, there's an organization called as PCRA. PCRA. So petrol and diesel, which are the two main fuels for driving the vehicles. So we should make every effort possible in order to avoid the wastage of these precious fuels. So in India, there's a association called as Petroleum Conservation Research Association. Petroleum Conservation Research Association. So PCRA, it advises people on how to save petrol, how to save diesel while they're driving the vehicles. So they have given various um, tips for minimizing the wastage of petrol and diesel. They are as follows. For example, the advices are like drive the vehicle at a constant and moderate speed. As far as possible, drive the vehicle at a constant and at a moderate speed, or switch off the vehicle's engine at traffic lights or at a place where a person has to wait for something. You guys getting it now? Or you should ensure that correct air pressure is there in the vehicles, in the air pressure should be correct. You know, if the tire pressure, air pressure in the tire is less, you guys answer this to me. If the air pressure inside the tire is less, so it will consume more fuel or less fuel?
Sir, can
More
you repeat the
fuel.
question?
One of you answered it correctly, by the way.
More
Repeating the
fuel.
question. The question is, yeah, correct. That is correct. The question is that if the air pressure in the tires is less, so then it will consume less or more fuel.
More fuel.
So more fuel.
More fuel, obviously, right now. So you should ensure proper right amount of air pressure in the tube. Then ensure that your vehicles are regularly maintained. Okay, now. So that is the thing. Hope you guys have got it. There were few questions left to be discussed. I thought we'd be able to discuss it today, but sometime we would be discussing it. Probably we would be discussing it in the next class. Okay, now these are very important questions. So this will help you in your exams. Okay. Also, Chakrika, maybe tomorrow or in next class, you'll be having your extra class for the chapter light. Okay.
Okay.
And Gauri, for you also a class will be scheduled, metals, non-metals, that chapter. And one more
Okay, sir.
important thing, some of you haven't studied the first chapter in the batch from me, crop production and management. No? And if you haven't studied, then I think there were a few others also, like Vaiga also has also
Sir,
not studied. Chakrika, you also haven't studied that chapter.
sir,
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
you teach me the crop and production in half of the way.
Yeah, 50% of the chapter was done. The remaining will be done in a backup class. Okay, now?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll be meeting in next class then.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Bye,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Yes, bye.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Yes, walaikum assalam. Yes, how you guys are doing? Yes, Aman.
Sir, fine, sir. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Yes, Suleiman. Assalamu alaikum.
Sir, which class's question is this?